We all know about the height records held by coasters like Kingda Ka, and that's super impressive. These are structures that stand over 400 feet tall, gigantic, superimposing thrill machines. But recently I started thinking, Kingda Ka may be the tallest roller coaster in the world, but what about the highest? What roller coaster sits the highest above sea level? And what is the highest altitude you can possibly reach on a roller coaster? So I started researching. My method was not foolproof. I thought of two possibilities for what it might be. One, a park somewhere in a city with very high altitude, or two, a very high ski resort with an Alpine coaster. So I started by researching the highest cities by altitude, finding parks located in those cities, and measuring their altitude using Google Earth. Sure, it's not the most precise method, but I gave it a try. I then did some research on Alpine coasters with high altitude, and I think I've pulled together a top 10. These are the 10 highest roller coasters in the world by altitude. Like I said, my method here was not foolproof or extensive by any means. If you think there are any coasters I've missed, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to include them in a future video. Number 10. Forest Flyer at Vail Adventure Ridge in Vail, Colorado. Our list opens up with the first of our Alpine coasters, which is Forest Flyer at Vail Adventure Ridge in Vail, Colorado. Located at Vail Ski Resort, Colorado's largest ski resort, this is a Weigand first-generation Alpine coaster opened in 2016 at an elevation of 2,481 meters. It's just one of many attractions that keep visitors coming to Vail Ski Resort during the warmer months, and it's a fairly decent length Alpine coaster at 590 meters of track. The coaster claims to fly down over a total of 1,036 meters between its highest and lowest points. Not sure how it manages that with 590 meters of track, but you know, whatever you've got to do to advertise. But you do get to experience a great stretch of beautiful Colorado mountains while picking up some extreme speed down the mountainside. You can expect to see Weigand appear a few times on this list. Their Alpine coaster models are very popular with ski resorts around the world, which place them naturally at very high altitudes. But our next coaster comes from a manufacturer you may not have expected to be on this list. Number 9. Montaña Rusa at Salitre Mágico in Bogotá, Colombia. Salitre Mágico is one of Colombia's largest amusement parks, located in the capital of Bogotá at an elevation of approximately 2,553 meters. It's currently home to 39 attractions, including 3 roller coasters, but the tallest of those is their arrow corkscrew called Montaña Rusa. The park opened in 1973 as one of the most modern parks in Latin America and was remodeled in 1999. It reopened again after that remodeling in the year 2000, with the Arrow Corkscrew relocated from Myrtle Beach Pavilion in South Carolina. It also has a double looping roller coaster and a giant Ferris wheel, among many other attractions. At one point, it even had a full-scale Boeing 727 in the park. Montaña Rusa stands as the tallest coaster in the park at 21 meters, being a standard Arrow Corkscrew layout with 2 corkscrew inversions, so it takes out 9th place on behalf of the 3 coasters of Salitre Mágico. Bogotá also has another theme park that stands just 6 meters higher in elevation, so it comes in at number 8. Number 8. Quantum at Mundo Aventura in Bogotá, Colombia. Mundo Aventura is a smaller park than its Bogotá neighbor, but it contains one roller coaster that really is quite baffling and also sits very high in elevation. Along with a number of flat rides, a log flume, and an aquarium, Mundo Aventura is home to Quantum, an indoor roller coaster opened originally in 1998. Formerly just known as Dark Ride, and before that as Montaña Rusa, this appears to be similar to a Pinfari Zyklon, but at some time prior to 2012, the coaster was put inside a building and now operates in a Dark Ride setting. RCDB also claims that it currently has virtual reality on the ride, but its real claim to fame today is the park's elevation at 2,559 meters. I'm not sure how I feel about riding a Zyklon in the dark or with a virtual reality headset on my face, but congratulations to Mundo Aventura for having their roller coaster in the record books. Number 7. Inferno Mountain Coaster at Purgatory Resort in Durango, Colorado. Number 7 takes us back to the States and back to the Alpine coasters, but this time it surprisingly isn't Weigand getting their name on the countdown. Inferno Mountain Coaster at Purgatory Resort in Durango, Colorado was built by a company called Aquatic Development Group in 2018, and it sits at 2,726 meters above sea level. It looks pretty similar to Vigen's models, except it has much smaller and simpler cars. In fact, they look almost terrifyingly simple and exposed. Purgatory Resort is a huge ski resort in southwest Colorado with 105 different trails, over 1,500 skiable acres, and 12 ski lifts. It looks like another really nice Alpine coaster, weaving in and out of the forest high on the mountainside. Absolutely glorious views up there that make all that altitude absolutely worth it. But not to be outdone by another Alpine coaster company, Vigen make another appearance up next with number 6, Alpine coaster at Glacier 3000 in Les Diablerets, Switzerland. Alpine coaster at Glacier 3000 in Switzerland is, according to RCDB, the highest Alpine coaster in the world by elevation, at a staggering 2,925 meters high in the Swiss mountains. Switzerland only has a few Alpine coasters of notable elevation, but, of course, they have to have the number one. You can't beat the Swiss Alps for pure beauty at high altitude. Glacier 3000 is a company that operates several different cable cars and ski lifts around the Diablerets region of Switzerland, including their main cable car, which opened in 1964. Alpine Coaster was opened in 2006 to complement their attractions, and it is an absolute beast. 935 meters of track, almost 10,000 feet above sea level. It's a pure mountain experience. So you might be surprised to discover that Alpine coasters hit their ceiling at number 6 on our list, but we've only just begun to gain altitude. Number 5. Krakatoa at Volcano Park in Quito, Ecuador. From Glacier 3000, we finally actually breached the 3,000 meter mark with Volcano Park in Ecuador's capital, Quito. The world almost lost this amusement park in 2020 due to the COVID pandemic, but it thankfully managed to recoup its losses and reopen in August 2021. Operating since 2005, apart from that small hiccup, it's a small amusement park with 2 operating roller coasters, the larger of which is Krakatoa, a Pinfari cyclone with a vertical loop standing at 11 meters tall and 3,094 meters above sea level. This model was relocated from the famous Fantasylandia in Santiago, Chile, and opened in its new home in 2005. Weirdly, it also operated as Montaña Russa for a time, making this the 3rd entry on our list to have operated under the name Montaña Russa at some point in its history. According to our findings, its loop is the 2nd highest vertical loop in the world. You'll just have to find out what number 1 is. Number 4. Tren Minero at Coney Park in Cusco, Peru. Another of the highest amusement parks in the world is one of Peru's Coney Parks, this one in the city of Cusco. Famous as the gateway to Machu Picchu, Cusco is also home to the highest roller coaster in the Americas, standing at 3,335 meters above sea level. The coaster, which opened this year, is nothing really to write home about. It's a little kiddie single helix coaster called Tren Minero, which looks somewhat similar to an SBF Visa layout. Coney Park is actually a franchise in Peru, with several of them also existing elsewhere in the country, including in the capital of Lima. But it is Coney Park Cusco that claims the title as the highest by elevation. Number 3. Spinning coaster at Happiness Children's Playground in Lhasa, Tibet. For our top 3, we head to one of the highest cities in the world, Lhasa in Tibet, where there are 3 amusement parks with operating coasters, all vying for the title of the highest. The lowest of the 3 is Happiness Children's Playground, home to a Beijing Zhuhua spinner simply called Spinning Coaster. Standing 3,643 meters above sea level, this opened in 2013 as definitely the highest spinning roller coaster in the world by elevation. It really does look like a typical Chinese knockoff coaster, especially with those demented faces on the cars. The park is also home to a giant Ferris wheel, which, if you're looking for spectacular views and chance to gain as much elevation as you can while you're at the park, is simply a must-do. Number 2. Unknown at Jinxing Amusement Park, Lhasa, Tibet. Narrowly beating Spinning Coaster to 2nd place with an elevation of 3,655 meters is this unknown roller coaster at Lhasa's Jinxing Amusement Park. Made by Chinese company New Horse, it appears to be a knockoff of a Wild Mouse model, and it is an absolute mess of track. Opening in 2005, it held the altitude record until just last year, and it looks terrifying and downright absurd. It consists of these bathtub-like cars with haunting faces, hurtling around a pretty dodgy-looking Wild Mouse-style layout. This is not the only strange attraction to be found at Jinxing Amusement Park, including this nightmare fuel. this flat ride, which appears to flip riders upside down while rotating slowly, and a very rusty looking knockoff of a disco ride. Haunting. Truly haunting. Number 1. Boomerang roller coaster at Gesang Meidwo Amusement Park in Lhasa, Tibet. But today's winner is a little further across town in Lhasa and is also the city's largest amusement park. Gesang Meidwo Amusement Park stands 3,734 meters above sea level, making it, according to my research anyway, home to the highest roller coaster in the world. Of its 3 functional roller coasters, the honor goes to Boomerang roller coaster, which appears to be a knockoff of a Vekoma boomerang. That also makes it home to the 3 highest inversions in the world. It shares its altitude title with the very creatively named Family roller coaster and an unknown kiddie coaster which RCDB claims is human-powered, perhaps by pedals or pushing the car to the top of the lift hill, who knows. But there you have it. The highest roller coaster in the world is a Chinese knockoff of a Vekoma boomerang. I don't know what I expected, to be honest with you. Are there any coasters you think I missed? Have you ridden any of our top 10? Let me know in the comments below. If you found yourself enjoying that video, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload any new content. If you're a football or soccer fan like me, you can also subscribe to my football channel or to my travel channel where I upload weekly vlogs. Links to both are in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back down at the base of the mountain for my next video.